Here we go.
You are now listening to Two Nerds and a Universe.
What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the pod. I'm Alex.
I'm Brandon.
And this is Two Nerds and a Universe, where we do in-depth discussion of all things nerdy, give you opinions nobody asked for.
We actually have some really fun things we'd like to talk to you about today, but before we get into that, here's a message from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Leal Insurance Services. Guessing your auto, home, and business coverage is not a strategy. Get reliable coverage, clear guidance, and real support at lealinsurance.com. And now, back to nerdiness.
And welcome back. Today, we're about to dive into a brand new universe that has taken the world by storm. It is Kane Parsons' Backrooms universe. But before we get into that, Alex has an announcement to make.
Spurs have won the Western Conference Finals, so love it. That's amazing. It was beautiful to watch. That explains the voice right now of us screaming, going downtown, honking, yelling. It was amazing. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Love to see it. Congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs. Congratulations to the organization. Congratulations to all the players, especially Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. Can't say enough of what y'all did. I highlighted it before, and we've talked about it before when Eric and Aaron were on the podcast with us. The idea of Spurs, their first year in the playoffs, making it to the championship is so unheard of. Mm-hmm. The last time that happened was 1976. So when I was here and I was saying picking Denver, I was picking Denver because at the time I was like, you know what, that's the best player. How often have you seen good teams that haven't been to the playoffs, led by a young star, make the playoffs? You're like, yeah, okay, that's a good team, and they don't make it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, you know what? History says there's not a high likelihood. And you know what Wemby said? Wemby said, history. I'm going to be me. Mm-hmm. And he went out there and he did it. I think that was so crazy. I think OKC, I wouldn't even sit here and say OKC was a tough challenge. I just think...
No? That was got to be the hardest game ever.
Hear me out. Oh, no. In terms of a 7-game series, being physical, yeah, Wemby had to deal with a lot of physicality. But it just seemed like that physicality was one-sided. Like, Spurs had to endure physicality, but the moment you breathe on them, they fall. Mm-hmm. And then you have to deal with free throws, being in the bonus, 8 minutes left in the quarter. Mm-hmm. It was so crazy that Tony Brothers, who officiated Game 5, Game 5, didn't officiate Game 6, Game 7, and he's probably not going to officiate in the finals.
If I'm not mistaken, he wasn't there because he's running for mayor in his town or something like that.
I don't know. He should go home. Like, that was a terrible officiating. That was terrible. One other thing I do want to say is there's so many back-to-back MVPs in NBA history. Those are guys like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steve Nash. Little asterisk because of Kobe's off the court concerns, but nonetheless, Nash was still a hooper. Mm-hmm. Giannis. There are Hall of Famers that have back-to-back MVPs. SGA is among them, among that list of back-to-back MVPs. And you look at the list and all the players, and you're like, bro does not belong on this list.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like you found a way to be good, but you found a way to be good
in a scummy way, man.
Yeah.
It just ruins basketball for people who genuinely want to play.
And you know what's crazy?
Like, you're going to win that way? You're going to win by having like 150, but you're going to win by having like 30 fouls on you that weren't really fouls?
People sit there and they're like, I mean, did he really flop though? More than 50% of his shots he took in the playoffs this year resulted in him falling on the ground. How do you fall more? That's ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I never once felt like San Antonio went out there and we're like, damn, we're playing against a back-to-back MVP. There was no fear. If San Antonio went out there led by 22 Wemby and they see Giannis or they see Jokic or they see LeBron, Michael Jordan, they're like, damn, like that's one of the GOATs. they never looked over there and thought they saw a GOAT.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm tired of hearing people say SGA, them talking about him with Kobe Bryant, and do not ever mention SGA in the same sentence as Kobe Bryant.
Honestly, doing that is like saying that
That's
it's putting
ridiculous.
Ray Skywalker next to like Obi-Wan Kenobi
or
and
Luke
and
or
Yoda and whatnot. Like, dude, chill.
Don't ever do that.
Like, come on, she defeated Emperor Palpatine. Like, that is not the same thing.
Yeah. So, bro, that's it. Congratulations to the Spurs. You found a way to beat them. One thing that I kind of wanted to highlight too when we were talking about this, Wemby was so emotional. Everybody in San Antonio was going nuts about this win. People that aren't even invested into sports were enjoying it. I don't think I'd be off by saying this, but one of our producers, Dom, you're not a big sports guy, are you? But you were very much entertained watching that Game 7 with San Antonio.
Not Game 7. The game before that was good.
Game 6.
Game 6 was great.
But like this series towards the end had your interest.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, what's the hype about? What's going on? And
Yeah.
I think what got me was when Wemby did that half-court shot.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. I was like, all right, I got to watch.
Yeah.
The half-court shot heard around the world.
Yeah, dude, because I saw the highlights and I was like, yo, and I was telling my wife about it. She's like, when did you get into sports? And I was like, dude, it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
It's unheard of. Like,
people that don't watch sports are now taking an interest in it. My mom, if you could believe it or not, there's 8 brothers. There's a lot of us. And my mom, growing up with us, never really cared for sports. We all played basketball growing up. We all watched NBA growing up. She never cared. But she texted us after, I am so into this game. So it just seems like the whole world, whether you're a Spurs fan or not a Spurs fan, we all hate OKC. So you all just locked arms and was like, I'm not even a Spurs fan, but I can't stand OKC. I can't stand the way they play. F Chet, F SGA, the whole organization. Jared McCain was a hooper over there in Philly. He's still a hooper now, but he never flopped like that in Philly.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to say, what precedence does that send to the future of basketball if SGA or just OKC in general went and won the championship?
Yeah, it would ruin basketball.
After utilizing SGA's tactic,
It'll ruin it because then all
ruin
you
it.
do is tell kids to bend the rules, flop, get to the free throw line, get to the bonus, 4 minutes in a quarter, and now you could dictate the rest of the quarter.
At a certain point in that bizarre future that thank God never happened, we turn on the TV and see basketball being just 4 hours worth of
Free throws.
shot throws. Free shot throws.
Yeah, taking SGAs. They're not free throws anymore. They're called SGAs.
Game 7, like, I want to say a bunch of their points were just free throws, and it pissed me off. It was kind of half-assed.
Yeah. Oh, that's OKC though. The whole series, they played to get to the free throw line.
That's
And something that I'm glad happened, and I brought it up during one of the games, was the fact that despite what OKC was doing, the Spurs didn't fall down that trap, even though it could have won them the other games that they did lose. If at a certain point, Wemby or Castle decided to okay, I'm just gonna start flopping now, get those free points, and now we won.
That's not the Spurs
They
organization.
didn't do that.
Well, that's not the Spurs organization. And if you want to talk about it, Gregg Popovich, for anybody who doesn't know, is a long tenured Spurs coach, greatest coach of all time. He's a president. He's El Jefe. He's still around the Spurs organization. Spurs are what they are because of Pop.
For sure.
He's still there. Imagine him watching Spurs players, his players, flop. You don't think he's going to go out there and say, that's not us? Any organization can do that all they want. But here in San Antonio, we don't do that shit. Don't do that. You know what I mean? So they're going to be mindful of what they're doing. So it's not going to happen. And whenever you get fouled, you look to score because you want to get an and one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Castle gets fouled, but he fights through it. Do you not see him slashing, fighting, and ones? Wemby, same thing. Don't go out there and try to bend the rules or get to the free throw line. Go out there to score. Genuinely score. Don't do all that extra theatrics. And one thing I will highlight to a bunch of people too, in pursuit of SGA trying to get back-to-back MVPs and championships, you lost all credibility and respect of all the fan base.
Yeah.
Besides OKC, because OKC everybody
fans,
loves it.
Yeah.
Outside of OKC, ask yourself in 15 years when you're at your Hall of Fame, when he's at his Hall of Fame conference, or his introduction, everybody goes, was it all worth it? Losing the respect of all NBA fans just so you can get MVPs. And that's that you average 30 points per game, 16, 15 of those are free throws. So it's like, dude, you play terrible. The antics, everybody's over it. So we love to see it. We love to see OKC lose. We love to see the surgence of Wemby, his ascension before us. And I will say, 15 years, Wemby might put the who's better, LeBron and Jordan debate to rest. For sure. Because it might just be, it doesn't even matter. Wemby's the greatest player of all time.
At that point, yeah.
At that point. Who cares if you're arguing Jordan or LeBron? Well, we're arguing them for number 2.
Yeah.
Wemby, you never hear people argue, is Kareem or LeBron or Michael the second best player? Everybody wants to know who's the first. And if that's Wemby, that debate's put to rest.
For sure.
So,
before we go into this other universe, what are your predictions for this next game that should be coming out on Wednesday? Right now it's Monday.
Yes, let me answer your question. I have a picture I wanted to show you real quick. For sure. If we could show that. ESPN, First Take, their first question. What does that say?
Does OKC deserve a pass because of injuries? Dude, Stephen A, man.
That was their first question on ESPN First Take today. Their first question was nothing that has to do with Spurs, has to do with OKC. Already being the defending champs, back-to-back MVP, but that's going to take precedence over a 22-year-old beating them. Oh, do they get a pass because of injuries? Everybody all year talked about OKC. Why they were going to win is because they have the most depth. They have so many...
stacked
team. They're 10, 12 men deep. Oh, but now when it was time to cash in on that 10 to 12 men deep...
One person with a hamstring injury.
And then now you're like, we couldn't do it. We're injured. OKC won last year in the championship, and Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles Game 7. So it's like, don't do that. That's disrespectful to you watching history before you. You know what I mean? But the first question we're going to go on segment and ask is, does OKC deserve a pass?
Shocks me so much because I really do respect Stephen A. And I don't think this destroys my respect for him, but it certainly just makes me, raise my eyebrow to him a little bit. Because he's obviously showing some biasness.
Me growing up, yes, he's the greatest TV personality when it comes to sports. He is ESPN, right? All respect to him. Are you okay with your show? This is your first question. You just saw a 22-year-old take his team to the championship. Hasn't been done since 1976. And that's your first question.
It's primarily a rookie
ridiculous.
Team. There's so many firsts. There's so many records broken.
Yeah,
there's
and
so
that's
many
your
everything.
question.
And
ridiculous.
we're just going to ignore them.
Yeah, be better.
He does the same thing for the Cowboys, so I mean.
Oh, yeah, but he hates the Cowboys. It don't matter. But anyways, be better, ESPN. I thought that was ridiculous. We're recording on Monday, so by the time this episode comes out, it's Thursday morning, and the first game of the NBA Finals would have taken place Wednesday. So my prediction, my thoughts are Knicks have had 9 days off of rest. Spurs have had, I want to say 3.5, 4. I think New York's going to be a little rusty starting off. Ooh. I think they'll in the second half, I think they'll catch fire, Jalen Brunson. I think Spurs will win a nail biter when it's all said and done.
Nail biter? I've been seeing, if you don't mind me interrupting, I've seen so many memes and jokes and whatnot that the OKC versus Spurs is the real championship.
Yes, because those are the two best teams, and those are the 60-win teams. And we could have said that before, but New York, when they played through the East playoffs, right before they got to the finals, they had an 11, 12-game stretch where they were blowing teams out, and that's never been done in playoff history. So I would like to say that, but just the resurgence that they had in their last 11, 12 games tells you they belong.
Bro, this is just like... I'm probably stretching it a little here for our sports fans, but this is just like Friday Night Lights with... what's that red team at the very end of it called?
And from Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's like they're bad boys, you know? I mean, there's some awesome football players.
Yeah. No, well, that's what's gonna take. Knicks are they got dogs over there. Jalen Brunson, very respectable. So I think Spurs will win in 6 when it's all said and done. But I think Spurs will win a nail biter. So we'll see if I'm wrong, but we'll see. They're going to be throwing a lot of David and Goliath stories out there leading up to this finals. So we'll see. But this narrative that New York is David and Spurs are Goliath, I don't accept it, because how can Goliath be 22 years old, but you have a multi-all-star on the other side in Jalen Brunson? I just don't like it. I don't like it. I understand the stature, one being Goliath, who's 7'6", the other one being David, who's 6'2". Jalen Brunson, Wemby, those are the best players. Clear size difference. That's where they kind of pull the David and Goliath. But nobody thought San Antonio would be here. So why now all of a sudden is a 22-year-old led Spurs team seen as Goliath, and the other team that has multiple all-stars, guys in their mid-20s to early 30s, that is your prime. How are they seen as David? Oh, they're the underdogs. It's like you're just trying to change the narrative because it's New York. Sure. But San Antonio is the David here. They are 22 years old. Go look at the last time a 22-year-old led their team to an NBA championship. Half a century.
Absolutely.
So
plus, we got nuns on our side. So
we got the nuns. So
David had God on his side.
We'll see where it goes. But anyways, a lot of exciting stuff. Let's see where it goes. I'm excited.
Absolutely. But with that said and done, all right, go Spurs, go. But the Backrooms, man.
Backrooms.
The Backrooms. Goodness gracious. I knew that this movie was going to blow up, but I had I didn't have the imagination that this would end up being like
this.
This could
Really?
potentially be
Even despite having a established lore on YouTube?
Despite
You're
that,
still surprised?
I'm very surprised. Yeah, because I didn't know about it until you guys brought it up to me, which was very surprising to me already, because this is the type of stuff that I certainly
Consumed
like. It's the type of stuff that I like. But because even I didn't know about it and you guys did, I figured that it was just such a niche sort of thing. Despite that, I figured word of mouth would travel, and over time it would end up making certainly its money back, and then plus a couple of extras. But wow, I mean, what was the price difference right there? I mean, how much money did it take to get?
Well, the budget was $10 million. And what they ended up getting, if I brought a picture for you to see, that's opening box office weekend in the U.S. The top one is Backrooms. That's 81.5. Looks like it. 81.5 million. Yeah. Dune, 82.5 million.
With an already established
Oppenheimer, $82.5 million.
So there we go. We got Dune with an already established fan base. You got Oppenheimer with a legendary director, putting butts in seats.
And look at the casting choice, too, for that Oppenheimer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly for Dune Part 2 as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And their budgets?
So humongous, yeah. And then we get the price disparity between them. I mean, realistically, is so different.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Backrooms has already made way more money than Dune and Oppenheimer has from a ratio perspective.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But there we go. Backrooms with a relatively known actor in the mix, but with a director that's never done anything before, and at least from my perspective, a niche fan base.
Yeah.
And that ended up just blowing up.
I don't honestly, the therapist, I've never seen her in a movie before. I could be wrong. I off the top of my head, I don't remember her in any movie. I remember him in a movie, but I remember him in 12 Years a Slave, which was an excellent movie. I think he is a great actor. So I do think they got somebody that's very formidable, very respected. You see him, he's a good actor. You're gonna go watch. But that is nuts for that to be on similar terms as far as opening box office weekend domestic with Dune and Oppenheimer. I think that's crazy. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name.
Look, he is a very famous actor.
I'm not gonna pronounce his name because I'm gonna butcher it.
He's a pretty famous actor, but geez, that name is just something else.
I'm not even gonna attempt it. But anyways,
Chiwetel.
No, we're not even gonna pronounce it.
He's cool though.
We're sorry, man. We don't know how to pronounce your name, but you were amazing. real quick, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the whole Backrooms concept, I was talking to my dad, talking to a couple other people. They didn't really know. Of course, my dad, he's not really a YouTube consumer like we were growing up. So, of course, he doesn't know about all this. But all this was first taken off of a picture by 4chan, which is right here on the screen. And Brandon, if you want to read at the bottom, that is what somebody else captioned and what basically started all this.
Absolutely. I think I said it on a previous video before, but this building was being vacated or whatever. So they posted this picture, and then about a year later, somebody ended up making this. What do you call this?
Yeah, just comment, message, whatever.
After it says, if you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. That enough. I mean, it was enough to spark so much internet interest in it that it blew up. People were adding in lore. From my understanding, even the 600 million square miles limit has been expanded upon endlessly.
Oh, it's endless.
It's endless.
It's infinite.
So
the yellow maze is infinite. I've heard some people say something, a couple things. I'm not sure if you think it, but as far as Kane Parsons, Backrooms wouldn't be what it is without him. We don't get any of this without him. Did he create it? No, he didn't create it. He even says he didn't create it. But his vision and his creativity when it came to this, and to be able to give you storylines, time dilation, async, research, even his YouTube videos on his channel on Kane Pixels, they're great. The graphic sure isn't there. That he did it in his bedroom. And what software was it? Blender. You know what I mean? It was such an achievement for him to create what he did at 16 years old. Are you kidding? So this is amazing. So amazing. And there's, for everybody that watches movies and things like that, it is such a great time to be a consumer, especially of the horror movies right now, because of Backrooms and Obsession going on right now. So that's pretty cool. But as far as the
two of them, both independent films that just did amazing in the box office.
Yeah, it's and one both of our producers here love Obsession.
Yeah,
so
I love Obsession as well. If anybody's dated a Latina, you understand the fear.
Sometimes you kind of like it, but at a certain point it gets a little too much. But anyways. Yeah, man, the Backrooms is just what they put together, and what Kane was able to put together was it was just great. No way a 16-year-old was able to do all this, give you a grounded, linear story in what seems like a complex concept of just never-ending maze, yellow. You know what I mean? I'm curious, though, what do you think about the movie? Are you prepared to give us a rating?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about it long and hard this entire time.
Pause.
What?
Go.
Okay. But without further ado, I guess, without all the...
Yeah, you ready? You ready to throw it out?
I'm prepared to give
you want me to count it down and we'll say it at the same time?
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right. You ready? Don't make me mad. 3, 2, 1.
8.8.
We're good. 8.8 and 9. We're right there in the ballpark together. Why do you give it 8.8?
So I am not the director. All right, this is not. I haven't been given authority over this stuff by any means. Kane Parsons has, and it's in the right hands. Okay, what I expected as a viewer was to leave the theater with more of an anticipation for part 2. Obviously, is it greenlit? I'm sure now it is because of how big of success it is. But from Kane Parsons has said that he has a full story set out for it. but we've heard that before with the Duffer Brothers. So I mean, it doesn't really give me much,
I believe
whatever.
him.
But Kane Parsons, I mean, like we'll give him the benefit of the doubt right now. But what I was expecting with the ending of Backrooms was sort of like a Resident Evil 1 sort of ending. If you remember, she steps out of that little lab,
goes into the city.
She goes into a coma, wakes up, and now it's she goes in the city and cocks her gun, and she's ready to roll. And I'm not saying that's like has to, like, the Backrooms has to bleed out into our world, and now what in the world's happened. But the feeling you left leaving Resident Evil 1, like, oh my gosh, what? That was just in a compact place, and now it's everywhere. I mean, like, now, what happened in between her going into a coma and this happening? I expected after her run-in, the main character, the therapist.
Essentially, she ended up becoming... Wait, before we start getting into this, obviously this is going to be spoilers into this episode and things that we're going to talk about. So if you haven't seen it, just play this in the background in silence. Go watch the movie and then come back after, because everything from this point on is going to spoil Backrooms. So keep going.
So after the therapist ran into Captain Clark, and she finally she got away from him and ran into Async's guards. I figured right around that time was right when it's going to stop, but it kept going on a little bit further just to give you a little bit more information, I suppose. And the very last scene is just her in an interrogation room, talking to one of the lead scientists of the async program. I expected async to come across more of like an umbrella type of organization. I'm okay with Kane Parsons going in a different direction, but that's what I anticipated. It's what I expected. I wanted there to be a clear enemy for one, and I wanted there to be a clear setup for part 2. Like, what is it going to be about? At Resident Evil 1, I knew what part 2 was going to be about. There is a zombie outbreak. So, I mean, that's the plot. With this, I don't... Like, what plot is there to be excited about? And
so you're not really excited for a part 2?
I'm not that I'm not excited for it, but there's nothing to be excited about. I don't have it could end right there. They could never make part 2 or part 3, and that just be it. Maybe that was by design, just in case it did flop. But I mean, come on, have some confidence in your own product.
I think he's definitely confident. He was confident enough to give you all those videos of what he made when he was younger on a YouTube channel, and all that blew up. That blowing up, there's no way that you're going to be able to have a movie-like budget now with the same cult following that you have, and it's not going to work. It's the same visionary mind. If it was a different director, then I'd be inclined to agree, like, man, I'm not really sure moving forward. I don't really trust it. It's him himself. He is 20 years old, might be 21 now, but like 2021, and he's directing this. He has the vision of all these movies moving forward. I trust him because there's already lore established. When it came to like Stranger Things and other stuff that we've talked crap about, there was no lore for Stranger Things prior. That was genuinely from the, like, make it here and then work as we go. He already has the storyline. He already has everything figured out. So I completely trust it. You had mentioned you're not excited.
There's nothing to be excited about.
I am excited.
What
I'm
is there to
excited
be
for a lot
excited about?
There's a lot of questions that you don't have the answers to, and like many people, you want your questions answered.
Okay, then you talk to me then. What are some questions that you still have about the Backrooms?
Okay, time dilation. There's going to be so much stuff we can get into. I'm kind of like organize it.
For sure.
Fair. Time dilation. There's a couple little stuff. Do you need to watch Kane Pixels and the videos on YouTube before going into the movie? No. He even says you don't have to know all that. He wants this to be sort of an introduction. But that is gives you more content, more meat on the bone, just for little Easter eggs and things like that. Obviously, this movie takes place in 1990. In the original Kane Pixels found footage, that
94?
Huh?
94?
It takes place years later. And then when you go to when the portal was open, it was 1989. From 1989 and on, you see in his YouTube videos that the missing persons start rising from 89 all the way on. What takes place in the movie, the setting in the movie is 1990. So it's only been 1 year that the portal's been open. It could be, I think it actually opened in like December. I could be wrong. This is a while back, but like I think it opened in December of 1989, and say this in the movie was September, October, June.
I'd say like mid-year.
Mid-year. Yeah, that's fine. So months have passed already. So now this is barely the beginning of the portal being open. This is still the beginning of the Backrooms. You could say that the Backrooms always existed, but the human element is new. It's fairly new because now this is the first, from what we think, first human interaction between the portal or the Backrooms and humanity. So there's a lot of questions to be answered. A lot of people talk about time dilation. A lot of people talk about how does it work? Why are these lights on? Like the lights they just turn on and off. What's going on there? Where's the energy coming from? Is it taking energy from our world? Like there's so much.
Somebody's electric bill is going to be ungodly high.
Yeah, his furniture store. It's his. But yeah, there's so much questions that need to be answered, and that's okay. There's so many people that are upset with this movie because it answers, or it forces you to ask more questions than it answers. Did you feel that way?
No, I feel like I got a good enough ending to a degree. So, for instance, since we are doing spoilers, like what is the Backrooms? It's a memory of everything. That's what they said in the movie, right? That I feel like that's enough for me. It's like I can remember a lot of things, right? I can remember a lot of movies that I've watched in the past, but is every detail that I remember going to be 100% accurate? No, it's not.
As far as the Backrooms itself, like the physical Backrooms, is that a memory? Because once you see, we're kind of going to go a little more into it. Still lifes. And for those of you who don't know, still lifes, it's what Backrooms imitates as a life outside. It copies it in a way into the movie.
So like it remembers the figure, but it might get some tiny
Features
details
off.
off. For instance, I might have 4 eyes. I might have 6 arms.
Two noses,
whatever.
Yeah, bigger
so you
biceps.
look a little off.
Yeah.
But from afar, you'd look normal. But when you get close, like, ooh, this is all wrong.
Yeah. So I think that the aspect of like Backrooms applying memory and using memory to copy something, I think those are like the still lives and the objects within the Backrooms. But is the Backrooms itself a memory? That's like a dimension. So I think the Backroom copies your memories and implements it into still lives, objects, homes, things like that like neighborhoods in there. But I don't think it actually like I don't think the Backroom physically, the dimension itself is a memory, because then that would imply prior to the portal being opened in '89, somebody went in there and it created a whole dimension off of a memory of a yellow room. You know what I mean? So I think that it imitates objects, goes off of your memory to imitate still lifes, people in there. But based off what the movie is giving you, it's so early into the lore because of the portal being opened in '89 and this being 1 year later. You know what I mean? So I think that's interesting. It's okay to not have all the answers. Me and you, we talk about it multiple times, all the time actually. Attack on Titan. We talk about how much we love that.
Amazing,
right? The storyline.
amazing TV show.
Arguably the greatest storyline ever told, behind Jesus. That you didn't have all the answers. You didn't know what the hell you were watching. You knew Titans. You knew that you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know who Zeke was. You just see a bearded guy walking around. You see a Beast Titan. You're like, what's going on? It's not until the 4th season everything makes sense. That's kind of what it is with Backrooms. You're like reading a 5-chapter book. Backrooms 1 was the first chapter. There's so much more to get into, and it invokes, it sparks curiosity, it invokes conversation. That's what art is meant to do, right? Make you talk about it.
For sure.
And that's exactly what we're doing. And I think it did that really well. I think it was great. I think his ability to put a movie like this together, and it be as successful as it did without having the casting power as Oppenheimer or Dune or having the budget, but yet it matched them for a domestic box office. That's crazy. We have a couple clips of some of his interviews and things he talks about that I wanted to show you and see if you wanted to comment on any one of those.
A lot of times people associate the genre with darkness, whereas with your interpretation, it's almost like sterile, like the yellow, the weird yellow color, and it's not even like a bright yellow. And it's really interesting because yellow is also associated usually with like happiness and kind of those emotions. And your take on the color yellow is just so interesting and fascinating to me. Why did you do that?
Well, it comes from the original image, so
yeah,
it's inherently being kind of derivative of that. I think it's the ultimate like sort of answer. It precedes me. Like the original image wasn't even like the wallpaper wasn't yellow. It was a white balance issue on the camera.
Okay.
The actual one was like more like cream white color. So white balance made it yellow. People didn't know that for a while. I think they could speculate.
That's
and
interesting.
then I brought it in. Yeah, I folded it in like more of a literal way where, on set so that we don't destroy the skin tones and make everything yellow.
Yeah.
We're able to actually make the space match the expectation a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think with me, I don't have such a positive association of yellow. Well,
Really?
I think I have a neutral one, but I associate it with confinement and with even when it's in a positive sense, like my childhood home, yellow walls, and that's not like inherently negative, but there's a level of like sort of forced coziness to it, or sort of like when I think of yellow, and this is not a reflection of my childhood home, but I think when I think of yellow, I think of more like aging and rust and pus and like sulfur and things in that vein that kind of accrue with time, rather than flowers.
Yeah.
But then the wallpaper is obviously kind of some of them are like floral print, and so there's sort of like an aged quality to it anyway. It's using a lot of like 1970s like interior office design principles.
Immediately throwing out all this yellow, like.
What's making it yellow?
That would actually be a good question for our producers.
So in your camera, whenever think about natural light. Okay. Have you ever heard the term golden hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so naturally,
Great song.
Naturally, in the morning, depending on where you live, you'll get like this blue tint, and then later on in the day, you'll get like a yellow tint. Right now, we live in Texas; it's pretty yellow. Our whole world is yellow tint, and that's what we call white balance. So in our cameras, you have the option to make it the image cooler. You get a lot of those references. The Revenant is a really good example of that. The whole movie, besides like Where Near Fire, is blue.
Yeah.
Small tints of blue. That's white balance. When it's warmer tones, like there's like in films, everybody makes this assumption, or like they
Mexico.
Whenever you're in Mexico,
Yeah.
you just bump up the fucking white balance, and it's super yellow. You know you're in Mexico, or like Arizona. That's white balance. So he had an issue with the white balance in the camera, and he just kind of ran with it. Essentially, he didn't adjust his white balance to the image. It was like, all right, fuck it, let me just run with this.
So because of that, it ended up looking yellow the entire. Wow.
Does it feel a little more sinister though? Yellow as opposed to it being white.
Yeah, I kind of have to. I have to agree with Kane Parsons on that. I mean, yellow comes across, at least through this movie, to be like like bad, like it looks diseased, unnatural,
yeah. Eerie. It just
sickness. I just see that, and I think it's appropriate for the business-looking setting that it's supposed to imitate. I mean, you get that disease-looking, like that's your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. A good thing to show based off of the most important picture that started all this was that picture, and it's cool to know that those weren't yellow walls; they were white walls, sort of maybe even sort of a cream. But he ended up turning it into. He ran with the picture of it appearing to be yellow, and that's what it is. And you see the wallpaper, and you immediately look at wallpaper and just think it's like old and gross. But then you realize in more of the lore, it's because the portal and everything that it remembers, and the people that go into there at that time is 89. Wallpapers were used at that time, so thought that was pretty cool. There's another interview too on here, and that I wanted to get your thoughts on too as well.
For sure.
Like, have you found since you made this film, walking down some sort of liminal spaces and feeling some sort of dread yourself?
I don't think I've ever particularly associated Backrooms with horror or fear factor on my end. Like, I don't feel it. I get like drops of it, like when I first am like pursuing it as a project, and then but like now it's I think it's intrigue and it's sort of satisfaction. Maybe there's like Stockholm syndrome because I'm very sentimental and if anything I feel more homey around that kind of atmosphere at this point. But not dread or anything. I'm a very I enjoy setting quite a bit. I definitely enjoy wandering around building. I mean, I always have maybe I haven't gotten to the root of the psychology behind that, but most of my dreams are usually just me alone in some kind of space, wandering, checking it out. Whenever I can, whenever I'm in a building, any building, really, even this building, I'd like to wander around and just see it more. There's a weird itch. I don't know what it is.
I wanted to show that specifically because that is all Brandon right there.
Yes, absolutely. I feel so seen right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, forget therapy. Just talk to Kane Parsons for a bit. That 100%. He couldn't have put it in better words than he did it right there. I can't put it in better words than he put it right there. This movie has sort of unlocked in me, or rather it's forced me to sort of see my toxic trait, I guess, being that despite everything that I know about the Backrooms, I want more than anything
to go in there,
to just go in there and just book it. Just run, get good, and absolutely lost in there. I cannot find my way back. I'm turning a corner. Now there's 3 sofas. I turn another corner. Now there's a pool. I turn a corner. There's a slide in a park.
Pool?
And then now there's a Christmas tree. There's a door that's unlocked. I mean, oh my goodness, I want to get good and lost in the Backrooms.
No.
And it's so terrible, but I'm so glad that he sees it. It's psychologically, it's got to be because in real life, I travel all the time. I always think to myself, the more you see, the better you'll dream, right? Mm-hmm. So I will literally just go and wander and I'll walk, I'll either walk downtown or I'll walk around my neighborhood or whatever. When I was a kid, me and my brother Blake would go and we'd, I don't think we can get in trouble for this, but I mean, we'd go and walk into this abandoned cotton gin down in Louisiana all the time. All the time. We'd just climb up this, climb up that. I mean, definitely dangerous, but still did it, and I'm alive. All right. We'd wander the forests and whatnot. I mean, it's something about my own psychology that I just enjoy doing. And the fact that Kane Parsons
is the exact same way.
I mean, wow, I feel seen right now.
Yeah, that's all you. Me, it's going to be a hell no.
No.
Maybe if I had an M4 and we had a full squad, all right, let's go. We'll be able to look. Not sure if my first mindset is hey, let's start shooting at these entities or still lives. I feel like a pretty good chance that we shoot their legs off. Might be all right. But I don't want to be in there at all because you never know what's gonna go on in the back rooms. It has mind of its own. If I turn the corner, I might turn the corner and I might find myself alone now, and none of my other guys are with me. And I look down, and I have a stick. I don't have a rifle anymore. So you never know. Me, I'm good. There is an interest there. There is sort of it piqued my curiosity of exploring these rooms. And kind of how you brought up part 2, I would love for it to take place 99% in the back rooms. Mm-hmm. I want to see the red neighborhood. I want to see, low-key, I want to see the pool rooms, but I don't because my fear is ocean and water depth. And I don't know what's under the surface. Imagine if in back rooms you get to pool rooms where the water's deep. Mm. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to imitate the ocean or anything like that. But you just get to a room where it just looks like a sort of a large bath area, and you get into it and you realize there's no bottom. If the camera pans down and looks under the water, I'm looking away. That I will not do.
This is Kane Parsons' show now, right? In the expanded universe, just like almond water, right? The pool was actually just full of Epsom salt and what like that stuff like that. It's supposed to help relax you and relax your tired muscles and
Complete
all that stuff.
opposite.
It's actually one of the only safe places in all of the back rooms. That's what the people have put in. Will Kane Parsons utilize that based on what we've seen with the movie? Already, I don't think that he'll say any part of the back rooms is safe. The ceiling, the pool room,
that's the highlight.
Whatever.
Is any part of the back room safe? It shouldn't be. I should be able to. I should fear that at any moment, I'm gonna run into an entity or a still life, in this case, a still life from the movie, and be completely terrified. You know what I mean? So I thought the movie had amazing elements in there that, man, just really had me fired up. Though his breaker switches just being lopsided there, and he's like, I don't know what the hell these are. Great, loved it. You know what I mean? I loved him watching the TV and then seeing the video, the TV cut to footage of Backrooms. You know what I mean? So he was exposed to it before. He didn't know what it was. He just looked at it and was like, okay, whatever.
So that's also, it's so funny that you bring that up. So like I've heard, we've actually brought it up. We're about to say it now, but the Backrooms, is this an entity?
The Backrooms itself?
Backrooms dimension, is that dimension an entity in and of itself, or is it just space? No real rhyme or reason for its existence and whatnot. The reason why I asked that is because in the movie we do see Clark see it on the TV before he sees it face to face.
Yeah.
And then he goes and goes into there. It's almost as if it's calling him into it. You know. What are your thoughts on that? If it's an entity, that makes sense. I want more memories to feed off of.
It could, but I also think like it could have picked up on, because it was an antenna TV, so it could have picked up the channel that the async had in the local area where they had cameras in there. Because
is that how those TVs work? Like a radio?
Well, I would assume that's how it works, right? Is that how it works? Y'all are the tech guys. That the TV antennas, can they just pick up on local signals and show you footage?
Like a radio?
Old school TVs, yeah. So my idea, or kind of a theory I have, could be wrong, it might not even really be a theory, but I think he just saw it. His TV just picked up on the asyncs cameras. And also too, it kind of seems that async is in that local area because the researcher, the doctor or whatever it was, was watching TV with his family, and he saw Clark's furniture commercial,
and recognized it.
That's a local area. They're not going to show you a commercial furniture company from California, and we're here in Texas.
True.
So it's got to be in the local area. I think it just picked up on the Backrooms now that the Backrooms exist. Also, a key question that people keep asking themselves is, how long was Clark missing before his therapist actually went to go look for him?
Look, I'm pretty sure that was a week.
I want to say a week.
If he's doing if we're to assume, and the assumption is based off of real life knowledge and logic, if we're to assume that he talks to his therapist on a weekly basis, not a daily basis. I don't know of anybody that goes to a therapist every single day. It's got to be once a week. Then he saw his therapist, went home or to the store, got drunk, went into the back room for the first time, and then pretty soon after that we saw him go into the therapist's office again with a map. So I have to assume there's one entire week filled right there where he's going. Pretty much, I'd assume that he's spending his entire time there. Close the store, nobody's really coming in. He just wants to explore. He's obsessed with it. He just wants to explore.
I don't even think he even worried about closing the store because
who was coming in?
No, and even one, and two, when she went, the door was open, and the mail was on the floor, but it wasn't an absurd amount of mail. Maybe like 5 or 6 envelopes, enough to be 1 week. But if you're a commercial company, a business, there's got to be more mail than that. If it's like a month, 2 months have passed, the foreclosure sign. Or you know what I mean? Like you still have to pay. I think it was a week. I want to say a week, that from the point he was missing to where she's like, I haven't heard from him. And then she heard him over the phone. That's when she was like, oh, I need to go check on him. If he would have missed his appointment, if they had a regular occurring appointments, she would have called him and been like, hey, I haven't heard from you, or maybe go check on him. The fact that she didn't do a check on him made me think she's not worried. So I don't think a lot of time went by. I think it was a week, maybe at most 2 weeks, but I don't think anything more than that.
Interesting that we're talking about the time. The longer that you are in the back rooms, you do actually become insane. Just happens to everybody. When you look at the Kane Parsons YouTube series, all the POVs that we get are people that have been in there for a few hours, the assumed few hours at max, with the exception of the async employees who, from my I can understand, they go in, they go out. They're only in there for a few minutes to explore or to write down their findings, and they go right back out. You going insane, is it a cumulative sort of effect, or do you have to be in there for an X amount of time before you lose your mind? For instance, the async people, they go in, they go out.
Well, they're also protected.
If they get a cumulative 166 hours, now I'm insane, now I'm tench, or is it you have to be in the Backrooms for X amount of time and then you start to go insane?
Also, they have hazmat suits.
And can it be reset when you leave?
I'm not really sure. I don't think so. But even on top of that, they're wearing hazmat suits. So what if it's like something that you're breathing? You know what I mean?
Like a radiation sort of thing?
Yeah, maybe.
It's a different dimension. So.
We don't really know, but they're hazmat suits, and they seem fine.
That's true.
But again, we don't have all the information to be able to make a logical conclusion from that. They just wear hazmat suits. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point.
So I'm not really sure.
Based off of the YouTube series, Tench goes in, and then he is insane after he leaves, and then he ends up going to the whole thing that goes on with him and the async company, and then they have to like
Trench, yeah.
I don't want to say cover up his death. They're pretty, because they're not Umbrella. They're a good company from my understanding, or a normal company. So they didn't cover up his death, but they explained it. So I would say that if you do go insane in the Backrooms and then you leave, you don't reset. You still maintain that insanity because a part of you is forever in the Backrooms.
Yeah, I agree. I see it the same way. Having sparked all this conversation about it, though, this is why I'm excited for a sequel. Whether that's a movie, I would love for it to be in a show format. I would love for it to be a big budget TV series where you can give us 55 minute episodes, 8-10 episodes. Oh, that would give us so much in the Backrooms. You know what I mean? So much content. I would love it. The idea, though, that there wasn't entities in here. Some people say if you look in the background, you might have seen bacteria, entities, something. I didn't see it. I was paying attention very closely. You don't really see entities, but you see a still life. Which was Clark. Did you think Captain Clark was an entity? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that was that when you look at the Kane Parsons YouTube series, I mean, we see it as a peg leg on Captain Clark, but it definitely seems like it's very, very similar to the quote unquote peg legs of the entity that we see in Kane Parsons' show. I just feel like the entity itself, over time takes your form, I guess. Hence why the entity looked like Captain Clark in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was an entity. I think it was a still life, and born from a still life, it becomes entity, right? Like the reason why I think his still life looked different from other people is he's been going in there over and over and over and over. So Backrooms remembers him a little bit more than it does somebody that just went in there one time, came back out, and it made a still life of them. But because he's been going in there so many times, you got that still life as opposed to somebody else's. You know what I mean?
Fascinating, yeah.
So, and then the point of when it kills him is when it finally accepts the rage and bitterness that he is. And when he says it's okay, we don't need to change, that's when I think his still life was like, we don't need to change. I can fully be rage, bitter, and then I think that's when it eventually killed him.
That's fair.
But I don't think I could be wrong. This is all just theories. I don't think entities exist yet. I think born out of this comes entities, because this is 1990. And then found footage 1 was what year?
94, I believe.
And then that's when an entity is there. And then when you see in the YouTube shows Pitfalls, you see when he says that's not a human. And it looks completely different. I think this Clark's version of the still life is what creates it leads into entities. Could be wrong, could be something completely different, but from me watching it, that's what I got.
No, that's actually very fascinating. I think that is the direction. There's not enough to disprove it. I think there's more than enough to say that that's a good theory. The very end of it's interesting that you say that, because the very ending of the Backrooms is a scene of the therapist's still life. sitting inside of her room,
Yeah.
right? I took it as the Backrooms, just remembering that is her. What is the Backrooms? It's memory of everything, so it's remembering her right there. Maybe that still life in part 2, part 3, maybe even the TV show will eventually grow into or evolve into another entity. Yeah.
I mean, it could. The question that people are asking is, at the end of the movie, did she get out of the back rooms? I believe you think she did.
I definitely
You think
she
that,
did.
that meeting,
Yes.
it took place outside of the back rooms?
Yes, I think the therapist went into the back rooms through Clark's no zone and then left the back rooms through async's
Portal.
no zone.
That little portal. Yeah. Okay. I think she's still in the back rooms. And the only reason why I think she's still in the back rooms is the back rooms creates a memory that the person that is in the back room has. It doesn't create memories of Clark until Clark steps in there. It doesn't create memories of her until she steps in there. So if she left the back rooms I'm just gonna help for this purpose, I'm gonna just make it a little easy. If she left the back rooms on Thursday and then has that meeting Friday, how does a still life get created of her in the back rooms on Friday if she's no longer in there?
Based off of Clark's memories, I assume?
Clark's dead. She's sitting in the same chair. Why
is Clark's wife in there?
Because he remembers her.
Because he remembers her. So why is there a still life of the therapist in the back rooms? Because Clark remembers the
Clark
therapist.
is dead already. Why is her still life sitting in the exact same position, in the exact same meeting-like setting that she was having with that doctor if she never went back into the rooms? If she went to the back rooms post that meeting, then yeah, it makes sense that the back rooms could copy that because it's a memory that she had just the other day. But if she left the back rooms aren't just copying stuff outside if that human or if that person never went in there and brought their memories along. Does that make sense? She has to be in the back rooms for it to imitate and copy that exact same position, that exact same setting.
Okay, well then, taking a step back and following the same line of thought as your still life evolves into a entity, when was Clark's still life created? Because his first walk through the back rooms, he was being chased by something. We don't see it.
Yeah, he just sees things
He's
getting
big enough
thrown.
to be an entity.
Yeah,
So-
but the portal has already been open for a year. So the hazmat guys, they've been going in there for a year already. Who's to say that entities haven't been being created by them going in there? Clark isn't the first human that has ever explored the back rooms. So it stands to reason that there's already still lives in there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we keep saying entities, but I think the origin are still lives. They got to be there. And the idea that Clark keeps going in there and it keeps creating a still life. Imagine the hazmat guys, right? Or Trench himself. Them going in there multiple times, it could have created their version of a still life. And that's what he encountered. You know what I mean? This all seems to be going on within the same year. Because even in the beginning, in the very beginning, the hazmat guy that ran into that beach room or it had that painting in that door, when he tried to run out, he got attacked by, it looked like Captain Clark.
Yeah, you pause it and look at the peg leg. It's there.
So it stands to reason that all this is going on the same time. And you don't have to be a genius to know 1889, 1890. It's literally within the same, could be within 6 months of each other. Mm-hmm. So it's all going on at the same time. I think they could have interacted with his still life. He could have seen their still lives throwing that bag that was just left in the wall, or his assistant manager and her boyfriend that got killed. It could have been hazmat. Those guys, async still lives, his still life. Could have been anything. But you don't know anything. It's just up for us to have this conversation, and that's what the movie forces you to do, and I love it. It also gave us multiple times in that movie that just made me feel like, oh, dude. Going into that the Christmas tree room, oh my God, I was like, leave. But what's crazy is that...
Explore it further. There's a strange noise.
And what's crazy is, look how quick, if that woman in red was his wife, look how quick it made a still life of her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because that was in the beginning of his explorations. And when he went into the Christmas tree, she was there. That was supposed to be his wife, I assume, because of the red hair. He cut it off,
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
conversation. It just seemed like that was his.
And there's a picture of him and his wife earlier on
it
in the
looks
movie,
like-
and it's a redhead. So.
Yeah. So it just stands to reason that you would think that's her. Yeah, but there's various scenes in there that made me like, oh, dude. When he got the therapist, I forgot what her name was. When he got the therapist into the house with him, when he's talking to her, and he pulls out food out of the guy's belly, throws it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to the fridge and opens the fridge, and you see the assistant manager's head in the fridge. I got that same feeling I did watching freaking the Netflix series Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
When you see the head in the fridge,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something more sinister about it when they're normal.
Yeah, they just don't care. Just like American Psycho, when Bates opens up his fridge to get the yogurt or
Yeah.
whatever for his friend, and there's parts in there. It's like,
Yeah, and he just opened it, and she sees the head, and she freaks out. Oh my, dude! There's various moments in there. It didn't necessarily scare you, and I think it challenges the idea of every horror movie has to scare you. Like, you have to be terrified. I didn't feel terrified watching the movie.
you just felt uneasy.
Uneasy makes you think. It's more of a psychological, mental game rather than it being just straight pop-ups and all that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it had that. I don't feel like it needed that either. I think the concept of it is frightening enough. The pictures and the scenes of when they're at a house, or you see a house on the surface and they go lower and they go lower and they go lower. My interpretation could be different from anybody else's. Seeing that, it just made me think hell, like lower levels, and for people that are religious in terms of Christianity and all that.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, there's levels to hell. That's what I felt watching that. She looks down. There's endless. It gives out the connotation that there's endless levels to this. You know what I mean? But each one is just something completely different from what it was on the top, and it just gets lower. And it just seems like a psychological sort of element to it that just makes you go like, damn, do I want to go lower? And then you just go lower, and it's less of something that connects you to the human world. You know what I mean? Here has a bed, a couch, a lamp. This one has just a lamp and a bed. This one has a couch halfway in, halfway out. Like it just creepy, and I thought it was great. I thought watching that made me think more so. I can watch a horror movie, walk away, and never think about it again. Oh yeah, that was just scary. But his makes you have conversations, makes you think about things, makes you want, whether you're like, do I want to be in the back rooms? Do I not want to be in there? Would I go in there if I had an opportunity? Kind of like how you tell yourself.
Yeah, I'd swing on the swing set. I mean, be fun.
Yeah, so I think that's what Backrooms does. I think that's what's great. I think everybody that's very upset that it didn't answer any questions, that's the purpose. Because even watching everything you know prior to what's existing on YouTube, you still don't know what the hell's going on. So if this is supposed to be an introduction even for people that have never seen that, why would you get the answers already? There's so much more that you don't know. We don't even know the questions to ask. So that's why I think he chose to do it the way he did. I'm so excited for a sequel.
All right, so what do you hope will be answered in part 2, if and when it comes out?
Are you asking me, or you, even for the public?
You.
I want to know. Oh man, that's a good question. I want to know more on this time dilation. That's like a big thing in YouTube. But I also want to know here is there a time dilation to this? Kind of what's going on there. I want more exploration of the Backrooms. That's why I said I hope 99% of the next movie is just the Backrooms. I don't care about our boring world. Go in there. I want to know more of that. I want to know what async is doing in there. Async's idea in the YouTube shows is to create a whole society in there. Build buildings, restaurants. I think they even have a train in some of the drawings, neighborhoods, like
Communities, plans for setting up communities and whatnot.
yeah. Now, what about a research what they are. God, it reminds me a little bit of Umbrella Corporation. Just their research corporation. What if they still, knowing that still lives and entities are in there, and they still choose to build stuff for people? You know what I mean? Like that would be like that. You're terrible.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's there and you still let people go in there.
Money.
Yeah,
Money.
but that's how it works. So that's what I want to see. I want to see asyncs, their agenda. What is their hidden agenda?
So I guess if nothing else, if from part 2, well, first off, they have 30,000 square feet of legit built backrooms
For him.
that they utilize to film this. One, I want at least triple. I mean, I want so much more to be explored in regards to the backrooms. But in regards to that, I definitely want to see more async. I think it's pretty relatively self-explanatory, but I mean maybe that's how they get me. Maybe they actually are evil. I don't think they are. I think they're just a normal company. Maybe they are like Umbrella, though. So if that's the direction they want to take for part 2, then that could be interesting, and that could definitely be a draw for me. Forget the therapist, or maybe have a fast forward like a couple of months, and maybe the therapist is helping as like a research consultant with them, or something to the degree. I don't really care, to be honest. If we never see the therapist, I don't care. I want to see more of the lore behind it in regards to the async.
What if she's in there so much that it creates a copy of her and you don't know which one's the real one and which one's the
like a perfect copy?
Well,
no,
not supposed to be like a perfect copy, but because we only think of physical. There's a physical like something physically that's off. But what if it's something mentally that's off? You know what I mean? Like what if that changes into, hey, instead of her having 3 eyes, everything appears the same, but her mind is different now. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing out stuff that could be cool. This is everything like that we just theorize and fantasize about. That
I
would be
want
pretty cool.
to know the nutritional value of
Eating the guy's stomach.
Of eating that guy's stomach. How much protein is in that?
Yeah.
Can I get gains from that?
Yeah. If anybody that's worried that there's no direction and no clear-cut ending to this, there's one last little video that I want to show of Kane Parsons himself, and this will be the last video. And it's him talking about his story and what he's his vision for this. So this one will be the last one.
You've been clear that from the beginning, Backrooms and this film as well, and the short films, it's part of something larger. That the narrative is extending beyond both, the web series and possibly the film. Now, without spoiling anything, do you know the ending to a story that you're already telling?
Yeah, that's the way I like to start every project. Usually I get very attached to like an ending or like the most extreme version of a concept, and then the project is just trying to reverse engineer from that to find a good setup to that. And that's kind of largely what Backrooms was in a lot of ways. So there's a very specific roadmap for this series, this serialized piece. Regardless of what form it takes in the future, I would say everything that's gone on since 2022 has been consistent with the plan that I built back in 2022. So not to say that I knew I'd be getting a film like this and that would all fall into place, but narratively, I should say. And so there's definitely more room to travel. We're definitely not at the end, and I think the real heart of all of it is still sitting ahead.
Rest assured, the visionary, and the creator of this story is he's got it. He's got it all prepared. So I'm excited. I'm not worried like I was with Stranger Things, anything like that. It's an established lore, has a very loyal cult following to this, so I'm not worried at all. I'm very excited for part 2, and I think it 100%. If it's not been greenlit by the time this video comes out, within the following week, it has to be greenlit. It's one of the most successful A24 movies in terms of like a beautiful story. Someone coming from YouTube, coming over here, giving them a relatively good budget, $10 million, and look at the return.
Look, I said it in the previous video, but this has a potential. I won't spoil like the universe's plan, but this has the potential to be up there with some of the greats in regards to lore, in regards to
franchises
and whatnot. Yeah. He has the potential to make a movie and another movie and another movie and a TV show, and that could branch off into a whole bunch of other things. I mean, like Resident Evil is a household name. People know about that franchise. This could be it. This could be up there.
I imagine this is like if I go up to somebody and I say, "Hey, Divergent or Insurgent, one of those movies suck." What are you gonna say?
Probably Insurgent.
No, but like you wouldn't care.
Oh, yeah.
Or if I say Hunger Games sucks.
I like Hunger Games.
But like, would you really care to have that argument?
No.
But if I said Harry Potter sucks,
okay, now we're gonna
Star Wars sucks.
Stop.
Yeah. See, but like that's what you get when you with the Backrooms. If somebody that doesn't like it just comes up to me and says, "Yeah, the Backrooms suck," how? And then that's what sparks that debate. I think that's that closely is this franchise. This franchise will have you ready to defend it, whereas some other franchises that have lore and have a following like that really wouldn't care to. So yeah, I think you said it perfectly. I think this could be one of those franchises that just have a good established cult following with it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. Producers, what did y'all rate it?
Well, the Backrooms?
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.5.
Okay, 8.5.
8.5.
You're like a 5.
A 5?
4 or 5, yeah. He doesn't get it.
How?
I didn't get it. The way I described it was, it didn't make me feel nothing. It made me feel confused more than it made me come up with theories of like, okay, maybe this is what's going on, maybe this is what's going on. But yeah, at the end of it, I felt more, let's say, hollow than I did going into it.
Did you like Annihilation, the movie with Natalie Portman? You haven't seen it. Okay. Did you like Lost, the TV show? Of course you didn't. All right, then. Look, Backrooms follows a similar hook as the Annihilation, the movie, and Lost, the TV show. I mean, the hook is you are lost. You know, I guess I don't want to say that Attack on Titan utilizes a similar hook. Maybe it does.
Yeah, because you don't know nothing. You just go one time from Aaron being eaten by a Titan to later finding out he is one. You're just kind of like
maybe not. I mean, like because as you go along with the movie, or the show, you think you understand what's going on,
and you don't.
You get. I think I'm understanding it, and then no.
No, Zeke's his dad. I'm getting it.
And then it just pulls the rug out for me. That's how it goes, right? Lost in Annihilation and Backrooms. It doesn't seem like we're even close to understanding, like it as you're watching it, right? Once. So you just if you like that type of cinema, then you're going to like Backrooms. I guess if you don't like it, then
No, I wasn't a fan. I think cinematically, shot selection. I was looking at Tony. I was like, "Yo, this is great stuff." Like just from the cinematography aspects of things. Storytelling, it was good. The reason I give it a 5 is because I don't understand the lore yet. I feel like if I watch it again after reviewing all the YouTube content, I'm sure I'm gonna fall in love with it. But just reviewing everything and initial watch, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm left more confused than I did walking into it.
It's a director's choice.
Cinematically, beautiful. Shot selection, beautiful. Character development, really good so far. I was very confused on why he went crazy. So in my words, quickly, but now that y'all said it, it's kind of like he could have been in there for weeks. So yeah, there were some things that I'm confused about, and I'm getting more answers as time goes on. But initial thought process, I'm like, I don't know if I'll watch this again. Now, Obsession, amazing, amazing. It's oh my god. But we'll wait until he watches it.
These two Titans, can they coexist?
yes, they can. They're good. They're good.
That's great. It's great.
Don't get me wrong. I'll give it its flowers. It deserves its flowers. I'm still catching up. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, either way, you're a good representation of no doubt
person.
millions of fans that or people who have watched it who have not seen the YouTube channel. And this is the first time they're ever hearing about the Backrooms, and then they go in and watch it. So you're a good representation for that. Just interesting.
Yeah, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, which is fine. That's what I want. I want my questions. I want to know what is her problem and her history with the Backrooms.
Yeah, you mentioned
there is
that
something there.
Explain. Do you have a theory in regards to that?
I think I can't back it up. I just have a feeling that she was being raised in the back rooms. Now, I can't explain it because the portal just opened a year before, but I think when she was a kid, I think she was in the back rooms. I think everything was boarded up, so nothing got in. I don't know. And then it showed a scene in the back rooms where that house was demoed, and it was in the back rooms. So whether that was a memory that she had, I don't know. But something has to do with her and her being a child, and it has to do with the back rooms. She even kept that her handprint on the cement when the house was demoed. I feel like that's got to be something with her past and how it ties into the back rooms.
I'll be on. Oh, sorry, go on.
And without being in your face, you think Clark is the main character, and it turns out that this might be her story. She is the main character.
I certainly believed. I took it at face value the entire time. I didn't even think twice about her childhood in regards to the backrooms. I figured that's just a director's choice. It adds to the uneasiness. It just leads her to. It adds to a reason why she would even care about Clark. Why she's a therapist in the first place, because her mother was insane. I took it at face value as to she's insane because she's insane. You're insinuating that she's insane because her mother was insane because she has some link to the back rooms and whatnot. Could be. I don't think that's the direction they're going into, but it's definitely an interesting theory.
Could be a theory. I also heard one of the producers say that, would y'all say the back rooms originated from her home, right? Or something, y'all had said something like that?
Yeah, I think there was a portal inside of her home growing up. The only reason I think that is because why was her mom so schizophrenic?
Yeah.
And she's looking through the window, her mom just comes, slaps her hand, and she's like, "Hey, don't do that."
Yeah.
There's monsters outside. They're gonna come get you. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's my theory. I think somebody else's theory was that the home was inside the back rooms.
Yeah, I think that. I think the home was inside.
I can see, but then I don't know.
How did they get there?
Yeah, how did they get there?
How did they leave?
Tony's theory is that the whole universe is inside the back rooms.
Yeah, like all. Okay, sorry.
No, go. What was what were your clues about that?
Well, for one, trying to talk so I can get my voice in there. When you're outside, when they was outside of the back rooms, if you were to look at the sky, a lot of the shots of what the sky looks like, the clouds look the same. It's that same blue. It's kind of the sun's always in the same place almost. It almost looks like. Did y'all ever watch Speed Racer?
Yes.
Yes.
You know how everything was super oversaturated, everything was super over cartoonish, almost almost like an abstract painting. It kind of all seemed like art, like you would see in a dentist office or a doctor's office. If you look at the ceiling and it's all painted clouds and stuff like that.
Yeah, and a sun in the corner or in the
So it's possible majority of that town, if not the entire town, could be
a back room.
That would be an interesting twist at the very, very end
would
of
be
it.
nuts.
The universe is it's expansive, right? And the Backrooms is the universe. All human beings kind of just congregated in one, corner of the Backrooms.
That would be nuts.
It's an interesting. I feel like I'd be deflated if I said oh, jeez. Oh gosh.
If this society the entire time was in a back room, or this said town was always in a back room.
And it would be cool if the raw material, what Clark found was the raw material of the back room, of hey, this is where everything gets created, and this is where everything gets all the ideas come into life, so to speak.
That would be nuts.
That would be interesting. And you really don't know what reality is?
Yeah, that's why I would be deflated. I just would be I don't get anything.
There's so many theories out there, but I think that's what makes this movie great. It forces all of us to theorize, converse about it, and then you just sit there and you're like, damn, that would be crazy, which is the point. So
do you believe
I think it's great.
Bigger budget would equate to a better film in
No,
part two?
Not always. Dude, Obsession is $750,000 budget, and look what's at. So a bigger budget doesn't always equate to a good movie. Force Awakens.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I agree. But that's what I'm saying. He was able to do that with a $10 million budget. If they gave him tacked on an extra zero on the end of that, do you think that?
What if that gives him just a bigger set? What if he's
okay.
I don't need many star-studded cast. I just give me more Backrooms.
Everybody would be satisfied with that.
I think that'd be perfect.
Like, would it be cool to see like I don't know, give me a random like Henry Cavill, I guess.
Timothy Chalamet. You just said give you somebody random.
Would it be cool to see Henry Cavill in
No.
Or Sydney Sweeney in
No, that's you.
Backrooms?
That's you. That's not me.
Yeah, it would be cool, but
She'll ruin it.
okay, whatever. Would it be cool to see a famous actor in the
Yeah.
Backrooms? Yes, it would
Yeah.
be, but I think it would be even cooler, and more people would be entertained with more Backrooms.
I think he's if maybe another director was directing this and it was not Kane, they might be all like, oh, better star-studded cast. Give me better all this. But because it's Kane himself, I don't think he'll get lost in that. I think he knows with the direction of this, I'm not gonna waste money on stuff I don't need. Let me just grow the Backrooms itself. You know what I mean?
That's all predicated on the belief that Kane Parsons can remain humble. I hope he can. I really hope he can remain humble.
It could be something where his circle is the one that's like, hey, you can do this, and you have all this budget, so do this.
Yeah.
I think he's done so much with so little already.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to.
Give him a lot.
If you do give him a lot, like, will you ruin it for him?
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I mean?
I gotta trust that he's gonna.
But I've heard that they try to bring creative directors in.
Did they?
And they try to bring creative directors, and they hired like 8 of them, and they didn't do any work because they were like, he has it.
The
He
guy
knows exactly what he's going with it.
The guy that works for async, the movie, he was brought in as kind of like to advise him to see like what he might need possibly, and he said that like, hey, he was just kind of doing his own thing. I barely helped. When he asked for help, I put my 2 cents in, and then he just kind of still did his own thing.
I love it.
Trust it.
But I'm like 24 gave him the money, and he just did what he.
Yeah, but look at what he did on YouTube at 16 years old. So it's like he has a vision. Just let him do it. Don't ruin it. Don't go in there and change anything up. Exactly what you're doing is working.
For sure.
Do it again.
Yeah, I think with a young kid, just give him, say, hey, here's 10 million, but like low key, there's like an extra 10 million if you need it.
If
Don't
you
tell
need
him.
it. Yeah.
Don't tell him, and then he's like, hey, I need an extra 10 million. Okay, here it is. I think he would do wonders.
And with the return that they got, I think they'd be more than willing to give him more money for a sequel. So that's a cool thing to ask. For those of you that have seen it and those of you that haven't, go watch it. What would you prefer? Would you prefer a movie for a part 2? Would you prefer a high budget TV show, 8 to 10 episodes, 50 minutes long, just give you more content about async, more content about the Backrooms, and things like that. So I think that's a great question.
I really got to like. They would have to choose with that, a movie or a TV show.
I mean, it's your first sequel right off the bat. So, yeah.
All right, yeah. So what would you guys prefer? A movie part 2 or a TV show continuing off with where it left off, or maybe a new story?
No, keep the same story.
Keep the same story.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what's going on. I'm very interested in the therapist and how she connects to the back room.
Let us know in the comments below,
Yeah.
and please give us your rating as well.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for everything that y'all do. We can't be, we can't do what we do without y'all. We're very grateful. Couple of our polls are still going. Still, I think we're upwards in like 13,000 likes now on it. So we're very grateful. But thank y'all for everything y'all do. Go Spurs, go, and we'll see y'all next time.
Later, nerds.